is in the Mara, and he's been driving around, and he's sitting with some lions at the moment. Now, I wonder if they're going to get active soon and possibly hunt tonight. Let's go find out.
That big storm that we were running away from and caused such havoc on the other side of the river, it looks like it's doing a loop-de-loop and is coming back for us as the sky just keeps on getting darker and darker to the north of us. And it seems to be coming a little bit closer, but hopefully it stays away for a little bit longer. Now, the lions, however, seem nonplussed, whether it's to do with the storm or the fact that there's no food on this very plain at this very moment. And so they all look like they've had a really good feed and just enjoying a bit of downtime. We might take a little bumble around, have a look, see what else is about. It's often black rhino in this area, as well as ellies and buffalo. So I think while the lions are napping, we're going to go for a little wander, and we'll come back and check on them in a little bit. Okay. Oh, as we start moving, are the cubs going to get up? Nah, they're not. Riti, speaking of cubs, Riti wants to know, will they chew on grass to sharpen their teeth? I don't think that would do any help. They might try chew on grass and stuff, especially while they're teething, when they're losing their milk teeth and getting their adult teeth, but nothing to do with sharpening their teeth. They would not be chewing grass for that. Sometimes the big cats will eat grass and certain plants to help with stomach ailments. But I don't think anything to do with sharpening their teeth, really. Okay, so we're just going to sneak our way back to the road. Don't want to make too many off-road tracks. I do always wonder what's happening in this forest to the left of us. So we're going to cruise past the edge of the forest, see if we maybe even find another spotted cat, a leopard in the forest. But while we do that, let's go across to Scott, who's got a reclining cheetah.
Hello everyone. I forgot to plug in my earpiece, so I had no idea that we were going live. Thank you, Ferg. I'm busy editing a video here, and as you can see, not much has changed over here. Still a sleepy lady. She was kind of about 1 kilometer away from here a little bit earlier this morning. That's when we started searching for her, so she's moved a little bit during the day, and who knows how much movement she got up to last night. We just simply have not spent enough time with her to know enough about why she may be so sleepy now. We're very lucky this afternoon that there's not too many other vehicles out, so we're enjoying the sighting all alone for the time being. Hello, Kibsaf. You would like to know if the rains will bring out wildlife that is not ordinarily very active. And snakes and insects come to mind. Amphibians as well, of course, the old frogs. They enjoy the rain for obvious reasons, because it creates puddles for them to live in, and even the toads will also come out after the rains. So yeah, usually amphibians, reptiles and insects numbers will fluctuate during and after rains, but not a huge kind of change with most of the mammals. That stays fairly constant as a general rule. I'm looking forward to finding some snakes for you and seeing what snakes occur out here in the Mara. The only one I've seen so far is a black-spitting cobra. I know you do get pythons here, puff adders, 1 or 2 house snakes have been seen in and around camp. But in most wilderness areas that I've worked, sadly, snakes often slither off before you get to see them or before we get to see them. So you can consider yourself lucky as and when you do see a snake, wherever you may be on the planet. Very good. Well, we're going to continue to wait patiently here, and we're going to send you across to Tayla, who has got a very, very beautiful bird.
We've got a bizarre scene at the moment. We've got crowned cranes and we've got a pair of Egyptian geese, and the four of them have been walking round and round in circles, staring at the ground. Look at that. I wonder if there's a snake there. It's so bizarre. They just keep going round and round in circles. They're not particularly bothered with one another. I wonder what on earth they've seen. That's so cool. They're very intrigued. He needs just for being so wonderful over the past couple of days. See the Egyptian geese are back again. Initially I thought that it was the crowned cranes perhaps starting to do their breeding display, because they keep opening up their wings and showing how beautiful they are, and then they would sort of be quite affectionate with one another, but you can see they're very nervous and they all keep looking down at their feet. We might try and sneak a little bit closer and figure out what on earth they are looking at, but we've got some gremlins at the moment, so we just kind of have to stay here and watch. Has anybody seen this behavior before? I think that there's something there that they're unsure of. The fact that they're all ignoring one another and looking in the same spot, like there's something in that sort of marshy wetland with... Oh, there's a snake! Do you see? It's a python! Oh my goodness! The snake just struck the crown eagle. Well, not the crown... not the crown eagle, the crown crane. It struck at the crown crane. I think it's a python. It would make sense if it was an African rock python in the marshy area. That is incredible. I've just been saying how I'm dying to see a snake, and here we go. Look at that this afternoon. I cannot believe my luck. So I think the snake is a little bit further to the right, sort of between... Let's see if it's going to... The geese... Yeah, we just want to digest. These crowned cranes would want to eat a snake? I doubt it. I mean, they eat a variety of different things. They're predominantly eating in small... large, and I think they're just sort of curious about it, because if there were young chicks, or if there were maybe eggs and things like that, that snake would be a potential threat. That was incredible. We'll have to do a slow-mo replay or something. Well, I can't wait to go back and see that, at least, of that snake trying to strike the crowned cranes. I mustn't say crowned eagle again, because that could get awfully embarrassing. And then see pythons, they do like that sort of marshy terrain. Very, very cool. Geese are sort of going back, saying that they're unhappy. Let's see if it's going to strike again. Where's the secretary bird when we need it? Hey? There's a bird. I think it... Python is also... Oh, there it goes again. Is it a python or is it a puff adder? See how the crane is opening up its wings, trying to make itself look bigger and scarier. They're moving off now. I think they're just going to circle it again. I've seen chickens do this with puff adders. I've had chickens growing up as a kid, and whenever there was a snake, they would always try and surround the snake, and they'd make one serious racket. Can we try and zoom into where that snake is? I just want to see if I can see if it is a python or if it's a puff adder. I obviously saw quite a broad sort of square head, which is quite typical of the pythons. Obviously a puff adder, being in the Viperidae family, has got more of an angular head. It's not a small specimen though. Wait, yes, be careful, you don't want to get bitten. Oh, this is amazing. So I wonder if any of you were able to grab a screenshot of that snake striking, with the crane, of course, reacting. Let's see if we get another another strike here. I can't believe my luck today. Hey, Sebastian. This is the best, I think, the best 24 hours I've ever had in the bush, ever, in my life. I know I raved about the serval and hyena sighting, but this is just too good. They're not leaving it alone, but they're not pestering it either. It's not like they're trying to peck it. When we see smaller birds like starlings and southern bobos, for example, I've seen a southern bobo have an argument with a runkelts before and it win. They try and peck its head and try and peck its eyes, peck its back of its head and kill it that way. But they don't look like they want to kill it at all. Oh, I wish I could speak secretary bird. I would be whistling and squawking and calling them all in to come and have a look at this. I'm going to move forward because I want to try and get a better view. Sorry, Seb, let's reposition. They are gremlins, they might lose us. Let's see if we can go around. It's a bit marshy, so we can't drive in there. Let's try here. Unbelievable. Let's see if we can figure out. Yeah, this is a much better view. We're a little bit higher now above the grass. Let's see where that snakey is. Look at those feet there. Yeah, the Egyptian geese are angry. There it is. Oh wow, that is most certainly, that looks like a python, that pattern. That is beautiful. What an incredible looking snake. Whoa, off it goes again. Striking, very angry. Now, rock pythons do not have any venom. They have got serrated teeth. Woo, careful. And basically, what they will do is they will try and strangle or suffocate their prey, but also they'll crush them. And they've got an incredible grip, and those teeth are very sharp. So if you get bitten by because of but no venom whatsoever. There'll probably be a bit of bacteria though in their mouth from the things that they're eating, so you got to keep that wound nice and clean, but you won't need to go to the hospital. Oh, you're getting angry now, aren't you? It seems like they've had enough. Or no, you're just looking for something to eat. Sorry, Snake, you seem to be in the wrong spot today. Oh wow, I'd love to get a better view of that python though, because the colouring on their body is so beautiful, sort of bronze and dark browns and little bits of green here and there. That's a young one though, that's not a big one, and I can understand why it is reacting the way that it is. Where as if it was a massive python, a 4-meter long python, it wouldn't really worry too much. You can see it's just coiling up, and another strike. Wouldn't be able to size, so it's not going to try and eat either one of those species of birds. It's just trying to protect itself at the moment. That's all it's doing. Now, I'm not sure if I'm still live, if I've got comms. I have not heard from the directors. Am I still live? Is anybody there? Hello? Hello? No, I don't think so. I don't know if I'm all fair. I have no communication.
Okay, now, what an amazing sighting Tayla just had. I'm very jealous. We were speaking about snakes earlier. I'm sorry, we did lose Tayla there for a second. I think she just lost communication there for a moment. But what a wonderful sighting. Those crowned cranes busy with the snake. Now, I couldn't really hear what snake it was. Some were saying possibly a puff adder or a small python. That's amazing. It must have been wonderful to see. I'm definitely going to try see a preview of that or a repeat of that later. Now we heading down towards Chitwa Dam. We've got some more Waterbuck and Impala in the distance, you would have seen. There's another big Waterbuck bull. There's some Impala being chased across the clearing in the bottom. There they go. And I actually heard a red-chested cuckoo calling a few moments ago. Maybe it calls again for us. So that species of cuckoo we just saw, the red-chested cuckoo, was calling. Some male Impala busy fighting. It's not mating season or ratting season, but occasionally the males do just size one another up. It's often younger males. No need to fight just yet. Now, interestingly enough, the temperature has dropped quite a bit, and it's got this sense or a feeling that rain is on its way. It's funny how you can feel with the clouds forming and that, and then usually the temperature drops before maybe the rain is on its way. That would be great. That would be great. I think let's head down to the dam there quickly. Hope we don't lose any signal. I don't think we will. There's a group of waterbuck in front of us. Oh, look at that Impala stotting in front of us. Watch. There they go, across the clearing. Look at that, wonderful. Look at that male. Now that is known as stotting. They jump and they rock and they bounce around like that. It's wonderful to see. I always enjoy seeing those Impala stotting around, and it's a social behavior, but to show that they're fit and they're healthy and they're strong, maybe showing off a little bit. Okay, now I'm just going to go through a little dip here quickly, just up onto the dam wall. So I hope I don't lose you. Stick with us. Just going a little bit lower. Sometimes we lose signal through here. Right. Okay, well, I'm going to try and stop here quickly for a second. Let's go across to Brent, and apparently he's got a beautiful view.
Northern Mara today, you can just see all that little glossy shine coming down. It looks like the Samaki swamp has become full overnight. And you can just see everywhere along the edge of the river on the floodplain, there's water, water, water. That's maybe why the Angamas have moved up to this side, to get out of all that water. So there we go. Now that's right in the middle. That's nowhere near the swamp. That's just the rainwater running off. Absolutely amazing. Now we are starting a range because we went out on a full day adventure, and it was an adventure indeed, and that big storm was quite scary to behold, and lots of thunder and lightning, but we've managed to skirt around the edge, and hopefully tomorrow's adventure will be full of more amazing stuff. I think it sounds like Tayla's having a fantastic time over the river. I think maybe sausage tree pride tomorrow, and maybe the cheetah with cubs. We haven't seen her in quite a while, so I think she's just moved a little bit further south. But while we head up the hill, let's go across to Byron with hippos at Chitwa Dam.
I am sitting down at Chitwa Dam, so while Brent makes his way back up to camp, we still got some lovely light over the dam. The hippos seem to be quite active at the moment. We're calling, opening mouths. Have a look at that. There's one yawning currently. Maybe we get a bit more activity from them. That's a young one. Now, just have a look off to the left there quickly. Sorry, just over there in the middle there, or both those hippos. Just it gives you an idea of how shallow it actually is on that. And there must be an island there where that tree is. We've mentioned it before. That's why the hippo, I think, congregate around that area. Oh wow, sorry. Oh no, we've just missed it. Just off to the left, I just want to show you these Impala. They were stotting. I just caught a glimpse of them stotting out the corner of my eye, but one actually reared up onto its hind legs. Let's see if they do it again. Maybe they run. They seem to be quite playful, these young male Impala. That one on the right reared up onto his back. Look at that, he did it again. More stotting. Wonderful. I'm glad you got to see that. Look at that. They're chasing, playing. It's all playful behavior. Wow, look how agile they are, turning like that. Two more coming in, also stotting off to the left. They seem very playful this afternoon. It's almost as if these animals can sense there might be rain coming. There's a sense of excitement. I don't know, that would be my guess, but I don't know if it's going to rain. It's just a feeling I've got. It just feels a bit cooler this afternoon. Much cooler than it was yesterday, that's for sure. It was interesting behavior, something different from the Impala. So as I was saying, sorry, just before I saw that the hippo, I think this little island over here where this tree is, it's a little bit more shallow there, and that's why the hippo tend to congregate around this area, so they can rest on that little sandy part of the dam bed, I suppose you could call it, the bottom of the dam, and they can stick their heads above the water and still breathe. Alison, you say this is the most hippo you've seen at this dam? I think, Alison, I'm not sure. Now I'm trying to think. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You can see about 14, just quickly counting. There might be more. But I think this is generally the amount of hippo we see here. Oh, a beautiful yawn. Maybe just all the heads out at the moment. Sometimes, Alison, they spread out. Sometimes a few of these hippo go right to the far end of the dam. Some of them congregate around here. So it does change and vary, I suppose, from time to time. It's beautiful sitting here near the dam. I can hear European bee-eaters above me, but I cannot see any. They're probably quite high at the moment. Now, it's interesting, the European bee-eaters, they've all returned back down south for the summer now. They're beautiful birds, they really are. And I'm hoping that we get to show them to you on camera sometime soon. But it's funny when the temperature drops like this in the afternoons, when there's rain nearby or the moisture in the air increases, you definitely start hearing these bee eaters becoming a lot more active and circling high and flying around. Now, so I wonder if they don't sense possibly some rain on its way. Oh, there's a big yawn. Oh, these hippo are quite active this afternoon. That's lovely. Sorry, Megan, I didn't hear what you asked is in the dam. What did Sundara ask is in the dam? Okay, now Sundara, you asked if there are any crustaceans in the dam. Now, I'm not sure. Sundara, I actually don't know. I have no clue, to tell you the truth. I'm not sure. I wonder if Tristan doesn't know. Perhaps we can ask him. I've never seen any little crustaceans in the dams. I have seen freshwater crabs and that in the rivers within this area. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some little crabs around here, perhaps. But I haven't seen. So I don't know, Sundara. I'm not sure. I don't know about these dams. But I have seen crustaceans in the rivers, the Sand River especially. So I have seen some evidence of crabs and that being down there, but I'm not sure about the dam. I don't know. I haven't seen. I'm still trying to. I think the bee eaters flying over here. Oh, that is them. Sorry, Vim. It's a bit difficult. They're far now. Let's see if some come a bit closer. Just getting some calls from the hippo. There's a little baby, young one. No elephant coming down to drink just yet. No sign of elephant. I heard that they did see elephant on Torchwood next to us. I guess Egyptian goose. Chasing each other, it would appear. Was it Jared or Darren? Sorry, I didn't hear the name properly. You asked, is it necessary for the hippo to always touch the bottom of the waterhole or the dam? Yes, it is. So they need to touch the bottom of the waterhole because they don't actually swim. The hippo will run from one side of the waterhole or the river to the other and touching the ground, but then they do have to come up every now and then for air, but they don't actually swim and they don't float as people think or assume they do. What they do is they lie or touch the ground and just keep their heads above water, and so that's why they generally prefer the shallow areas when they are resting in the water. But if they need to get from one side to the other, they'll run across the waterhole or the river, and they can hold their breath for quite long. Oh, there's a beautiful yawn. Big yawning hippo. So they can hold their breath for quite some time, about 7 to 9 minutes, between 7 and 9 minutes, I think, is about the longest they would hold their breath for. So they can then run from one side to the other, and come up for air every now and then when they need to. But when they're resting like this, they prefer the shallow water, so they can just lie down and keep their heads above the water. It's actually getting a bit chilly. Oh, there you can see that hippo standing up now. And so you can see it's not very deep there at all. Now, Bree, you asked how soon do the young hippos start making noises like the adults? I don't know. I don't know. Look, they're not going to grunt and snort like those big adults do. I'm sure that takes a few years. But I don't know at what age they really start making the noises. Maybe when they get to the age of about 14. I'm joking, I don't know. It's lovely sitting at the dam. I must be honest, I'm enjoying this now. Beautiful, beautiful light. I think what I might do is just turn around for a second. If you don't mind, let me just reposition, because we're going to have a beautiful sunset from up here, and I think today's a perfect afternoon to enjoy the sunset. So let me just turn around quickly. Dory, you asked if it's possible if we can maybe check at some point if the female crocodile has a nest. Now, Dory, I wouldn't even know where to start checking around here, and I wouldn't necessarily like to walk around this dam with all these hippo around here. But if anywhere, I think if she did have a nest, is that okay for you? Is that alright? Because I think we'll have the silhouetted tree next to us when the sun does go down. But Dory, I don't know where to even start checking. I would assume maybe somewhere on that little island where the crocodiles do usually sun themselves up there, if she's buried them, or she'll keep it more hidden. So if she has got any, if she's laid any eggs, she'll probably go off maybe into the back of the dam around that area, maybe dig into the softer soil around there, bury the eggs that side. So I don't know, Dory. I mean, I've never found a crocodile nest. I've never seen a crocodile nest with eggs, or eggs anyway. There come the waterbuck coming down to drink. Now in the Mara, it's a bit easier to have a look for that, because obviously there's an abundance of crocodiles there, and you see the crocodiles moving around a lot more, and the females have to go and find nesting sites. And also with those, I think those river cams, it's a bit easier to monitor those crocodiles' movements. See again that wonderful light on the waterbuck coming down to drink. Very beautiful light at the moment. Some Impala also making their way through slowly. Just off to the left, there they come. A lot of bird life around here too. Just seen there are, well, obviously Egyptian geese, there's some lapwings, there are guinea fowl, just scanning around the dam, all the way on the other side of the dam too. Always an abundance of bird life around here, which is wonderful. Now you can see waterbuck, impala, all these animals coming out to drink, and most likely going to try and hang around these clearings during the course of the evening. It's a bit safer, it's nice and open for them. Oh, that hippo, there's another yawning hippo. Wow, he's really getting his head out of the water. Megan, I haven't seen baby crocodiles here at Chitwa Dam, but I've seen baby crocodiles down in the Sand River. I have seen little crocodiles down, one or two little crocodiles, but they're very secretive when they are so small. I've never seen baby crocodiles in the dam. I'd love to see a little crocodile, but I haven't seen them here. I've only seen those big crocodiles here. Some of the water thickneys are now getting active, flying around. You can hear them. There's a few of them. That's one. Well done, Vir. That's the water thickneys calling, whistling. They're making quite a noise now. And I wonder, is that light still a bit too bright? There's golden light in the sky. Look at that beautiful silhouette at sunset. Clouds in the sky. Beautiful. Lovely view. Very nice, very pretty. Isn't that nice? We'll wait for it to go down a little bit more. See all those antelope heading down towards the water's edge. Some quailias just flew over us. I could hear them. It's amazing the sound those red-billed quailias make when they fly overhead. They're usually in big flocks. Look at those waterbuck chasing each other, male chasing a female. Wow. We've had a lot of activity from all our antelope this afternoon. I say our antelope, they're not our antelope. The antelope. Okay, well, it sounds like Scott is still sitting with that female cheetah. So let's go across to him now and find out if she's going to get up and move, or if she's going to rest in that area for the evening.
Welcome back, everyone. Still no changes here as the darkness begins to set in. It's going to be a cold evening, it appears, but thankfully we are dry for now. There we go. It's time for infrared. Thank you, Ferg.
No worries. I want to get my voice on TV.
There we go. Ferg has just had every cameraman's dream to be able to self-announce the infrared light being turned on. Usually that is our, the benefit of us being the drivers of the vehicle is that we get to announce the IR light being activated, but Ferg has now got his turn. There we go, Ferg. You nailed that. So, interesting stuff with Tayla and that crowned crane and the snakes, and sounds like you've been having a good time with Byron as well. Hello, Riti. You would like to know who this female mated with last, and the researcher did see her mating. I'm guessing it's with a male called Martin. He used to spend a lot of time in this area, and that was up until the Musketeer Coalition started spending more time here. And interestingly, the researcher called me today from one of the conservancies to the north of us, and that's kind of where the Musketeers ordinarily spent more time, and guess who's there? Martin. So now that they're here, he's kind of swapped houses with them, it seems like. And I'm guessing that is the individual who mated with her. It's not uncommon for cheetah to mate with different males, I'm told. So I will ask the researcher to just let us know who she did see this lady mating with, and exactly how long ago, because then we can expect to know when exactly, hopefully, some little cubs will be hidden in a thicket somewhere not too far from here, I am hoping. Now, I'm not too sure what our plans are in the morning, but it's going to be useful to know that she is here, because if she stays like this, we've got a good chance, or at least a better chance of finding her in the morning. So that is some good news, just thinking ahead, even though she's very sleepy now. She may get up at any moment this evening, or she may just spend the whole night here till tomorrow morning until we get back. That would be quite nice. Anyway, we are going to send you back across to Byron, who is, I think, possibly approaching Chitwa Dam, or at least somewhere in and around Chitwa.
We are still sitting here, Scott, and we are now enjoying this beautiful sunset and the wonderful silhouettes in front of it. I'll just look at that for a moment. That is really beautiful. And it's amazing the effect a dead tree in front of the sunset has. There's dark clouds in the sky, some dark clouds here at the moment. But it doesn't look like rain, not yet anyway. Not yet anyway, but maybe this evening or tomorrow, I don't know. As long as it's not tomorrow morning, because we'll be on our sunrise safari, and it's not pleasant driving in the rain in the morning. So I'm hoping that we get rain, but just not tomorrow morning. Now, there's still a lot going on around here. There's still a lot of antelope moving around. The hippo is still quite active. Every now and then we get a few splashes. Scott, you asked what is the main predator of a hippo, if any? Well, Scott, it would be lions. Definitely lions. They are strong enough and powerful enough to attack hippo. It doesn't happen often. Look, that one's foot's in the air. Can you see it rolling on its side? There's a yawn. There's so much activity here at the moment. Hippos do roll around like that, often to scratch their backs on the bottom of the water holes, maybe up against that tree that's in the water. Rub a bit of mud on their back to protect themselves. There's another yawn. So Scott, as I was saying, it doesn't happen that often, but lions, if they're able to corner a hippo out of the water, especially a younger hippo, it would be easier prey for them. But lions, I know, have been able to hunt hippos. Here comes another yawn. It's wonderful to see the hippo displaying like this. Those big sharp teeth. Now, those are the teeth that can cause serious harm to a person if you get in the way of a hippo. Now, those teeth are purely for protection, not for feeding. They just eat grass and they browse grass shoots, especially now with all this green grass. I'll be trying to get some of that. You can hear, I'm not sure if you can hear that. There's that evening hippo cacophony that we can hear. All the sounds. Very peaceful. I do enjoy sitting around the dam in the afternoons. This would be a great place to bring guests, I think especially after 2 or 3 days into their safari. And you know, once you've seen a lot of animals, or even if you haven't, doesn't matter. But like this afternoon, we didn't have any luck with the leopard. So to come and sit down at a water hole like this, or a big dam, and appreciate the sounds and the animals coming down, the hippo in the water, you can just enjoy being out in the bush. Maybe stop for sundowners, and that sun now is again giving us such beautiful, beautiful golden light. Lovely, isn't that wonderful? Now, Stacy, you asked, how can we tell the difference between male and female hippo in the water? Now, it is tricky, Stacy. It is a bit tricky. Now, usually, for one, the size of the head. So the size of the head of the male would be much bigger. You can often see the indentations where the teeth, those big bottom teeth, fit into the top jaw. You can see those little bumps quite clearly. And then also the eyes. Now, what I mean by the eyes, it's difficult to tell from here, and I don't think we'd be able to tell on camera with us losing the light now. But the females, their eyes tend to be a little bit more pink, if that makes sense. The top of the eye, so that I suppose you could say the eyebrow, or just below the eyebrow of the hippo, the females tend to have a bit more pink on them compared to the males. Look, there's half a yawn. But that is, you know, Stacey, that I think is it's a bit difficult to tell that, and you do have to look quite carefully at times, especially with younger males. I don't know if it would be as easy if you can't judge size and you can't see those eyes properly, but they tend to be like a flicking of dung over there by the hippo. Now that's usually a territorial display. So, you know what, I think to be on this safe side, usually it's hard to tell male and female hippo apart when they're in the water. There's some wonderful yawning going on. Look at all those oxpeckers taking off there. See, in that light, I can't tell if that's a male or female looking at the eyes, because they all have pinkish coloration around the eyes. But I think the females are a little bit brighter pink. It's interesting, just rubbing its snout up against that tree. Now, Tayla has found a wonderful little animal that we haven't seen in this area for, I don't think, ever. Let's go and see what it is.
Got-eared fox. This is the second one. There must be a den around here. Oh, very, very nervous. Wow, look how quick they can go. That's awesome. Now, it is a little bit nervous, but it's okay. They are nocturnal creatures. And there we go. It's just running off into the distance. I think they're going to be very busy tonight because of all the rain that we've had. There's plenty bugs around. And there it goes. Just trying to follow it. Whew, that was amazing. There are not grasshoppers. There are a variety of things making noises between frogs and all sorts of other things and insects. It's been an amazing day. Very quick sighting, but a cool one. Wait, what's that? Seb, is another one. Right on her. Yeah, it's coming closer. You can just see eyes. Yes, it's another one. So we must have stumbled across a den somewhere around here. There's plenty of termite mounds and old burrows that would make the perfect home for a bat-eared fox. And you can see all the insects and things moving around your screen. And that's what they're really going to be going after. If there's any alates, if there's any sort of kings and future kings and queens of ants and termites that have been released. And they typically are released after the rains. We've seen this quite a few times. That's what they'll go for. They'll try and find a mound where they're streaming out and catch them. But they're quick. They use those big ears to hear the insects flying about, rattling on the ground, whatever they're doing. And then they'll go after them and they'll dig a little bit too. That's really nice, but that's very far away. That's right on the horizon. We are super lucky. Very, very nice. Actually, okay, let's carry on. Let's see what else we can find. Michael, you said that you're sure that those bat-eared foxes can hear really well. Hang on, wait. There they are. And just see if they're going to come closer. There's about 3 or 4 of them running around here. It's another one. That little flash, and then just to the left of it is another set as well, but it's just ducked its head down. I can hear lions as well, very far away. Where'd you go? Just moving around in the grass in the far distance, chasing after everything. Oh, that's awesome. That's really nice to know, though, that we can come and find bat-eared foxes around here. We have been so spoiled. I really cannot get over it. These days in the bush like this are really far and few between, so you got to count yourself lucky when you can and take it all. Oh, nice. Right, let's see what else we can find, though. What we are going to do... actually, you know what? Before I even tell you what I'm going to do, I want to do a quick recap. So I tried to have a look and find out which male leopard we saw today, but unfortunately, no, those are Thompson's Gazelle. We don't want to put the lights on them. I'll see if I can get close to that bat-eared fox. I can see another one. So unfortunately, we haven't had any Wi-Fi, and the signal's horrific down where we're staying, just along the Sand River. So I wasn't able to open up any pictures to be able to try and ID this leopard. So I'll try when I get back to camp tomorrow, to home base camp. It should be quite exciting. And then we also found the proud lions we had yesterday afternoon, this morning. Guess where they were? Back at the quarry, resting. So we're on our way there now. See what they get up to. Where those eyes? Those eyes are up there. So there's Thompson's Gazelle. This is amazing. Catch all the insects, eat the bugs that fly into my eyes and my mouth, because I don't want to eat them. Grass is short here. Maybe we'll get a nice view. Let me just see. Where are you hiding? Did you go into a burrow? So I'm concentrating, hence why I'm not turning around to look at you at the moment. Oh, there. There's a whole... I thought you see what I'm looking at, Seb? I'll show you. I think there's a den here. There, it's in there. I can see the ears. No, what am I? Have I made that up? Did I just make... No. What is that? What on earth is that? Go down? Oh, there. What are we looking at? Is it a duck or something? Let me go forward a little bit. It's something small. Oh my goodness. It's a little baby animal of sorts. I'm just taking the spotlight right off of it. Let me go forward again. I'm just trying to see. You know what? I wonder if it's not a baby Thompson's Gazelle. I don't want to put the spotlight on it. Okay, what we're going to do is we want to put our infrared on, so we can have a look around, if that's okay, and then I can put the well, I'm not going to put the spotlight on it because I know that it's not a nocturnal creature. That's fine. Can we, final control, please can we put our infrared light on so that we can have a closer look at our little animal that we've got hiding away over here. I suspect it's a baby Thompson's Gazelle. Just waiting for a response, but I cannot. I saw my radio going, but I did not hear anything, so I'm just going to sit quietly. Oh no. Right, let's go across to Scott very quickly while we put our infrared on.
It looks like we've just lost Scott over there, some of the sound. But don't worry, we're still sitting at the dam. I'm going to be leaving soon. I just wanted to try a different angle and see what else we've got around here. But our little lapwing that we saw the other day is still here. Have a look. It's still sitting on the nest, our blacksmith lapwing. I'm saying our blacksmith lapwing because we found it, have you? So now I always tease and joke with my friends about this because we should never say your. Often people use this term when they speak about animals. They'll say your Impala would do this or your Impala would do that. They're not yours. And I suppose the same should be said about our. They're not our animals. They are wild animals. They do not belong to us. And I'm quite strict about that. But sometimes I catch myself out from time to time and I say, oh, we've just got to our pod of hippo. And that's incorrect. So I do apologize. Need to be more strict with myself. I'm so glad that we've got a great signal here and we're able to have a look at the various animals in this area. Now I know there were some questions regarding the stotting of the Impala that we saw earlier, and some of you were wondering, is it not pronking? Now the pronking is what the springbok do. Now I don't know exactly why they have been given different terminology, but stotting is the term that is used for that behavior in Impala, where they jump and they rock back, or the rear end rocks back up and the front end drops. The pronking is where the legs of the springbok are held straight out and very, very stiff, and they bounce. They bounce on all four like this. It's wonderful to see. And I think that's also where they get the name springbok, is because of that springing posturing that they do, the pronking. So it is similar behavior, but it has been given two different terms. Now I don't know exactly why it's given two different terms, but the Impala, it is known as stotting, and the Impala, it's known as pronking. Now, I don't know if it's got to do with the movement or what the reason is, or if they just did it to confuse us. I'm not sure. But there are different terms. So those of you who have heard pronking before, you are right. Pronking is a correct term, but that is for the springbok and not for the Impala. All right, well, let's go across now to Scott, who's still sitting with that cheetah, and let's see what it's up to.
Apologies, my mic pack died earlier. That's why you couldn't hear me. I guess it's because we've been out since quite early and we turned on my mic pack a little bit earlier than normal. As you can see, we have left that female cheetah. We've decided to see what else we can find on our way back to Olo Shaiki, the camp we stayed when we were on this side of the river, or at least on this section of the reserve. And there are quite a few lions across on this side of the river. It's just while we're here, we tend to focus on cheetah. So we could bump into some lions on the way home. Or maybe some more bat-eared fox. I'm glad you got to see some of those with Tayla. They are such cool little animals, and we don't get to see them very often. It's not huge amounts of them here. Hello, Writer's End. You would like to know if guides have ever run over animals driving after dark, and yes, I'm sure it's happened from time to time in various places. I personally don't know of anyone that's done that. But you know, animals, small animals like a nightjar that sits on the roads often at night to hunt, they sadly get walloped quite a lot by people who don't know what to look out for. And small animals like chameleons when they're crossing the road. Having said that, we nearly crashed into a warthog last night on our way home. It just appeared out of nowhere, but thankfully we missed it. But generally, yeah, the animals tend to be able to avoid us. Considering they can avoid animals like cheetah and lion, avoiding a big car is usually okay, provided they don't get blinded by the headlights, or Sometimes animals slip on tarmac roads when they try and run away, once they realize that they're in trouble. But it's something that happens very, very infrequently, as far as I'm aware.
Oh, no, we just found something interesting here. Now, have a look at this. I think it's, in fact, well, a side-striped jackal. Now, there it is. Let's see if we can see it. Just running through there. But, this is quite sad. This jackal appears to have been attacked by mange. You can see it's lost all its fur. You know, it looked like it's been rolling around in the mud, but I don't think it would have. And it just looks like it's been devastated by mange. There it goes through there. So, look at that. Well, you can see that side stripe a little bit still on the body. But yeah, look, shame. This little jackal really has. There's actually no tail left. Very. You normally have big bushy tails, and still got a tail. It just has no hair on it, no fur. There it goes. That's interesting. Interesting little find. How's that? Just as you crash cut to us. Side stripe jackal. But that is a bit sad that it's contracted mange. Now I don't know how or why. We haven't had a bad drought, so I'm not sure where that jackal picked it up from. Now we want to quickly head back into that area where that young male leopard was this morning, and just see if maybe we have some luck with that sticking its head out now that it's cooled down, and we'll see what we can in that area. Now, wonderful. Let's go and see what it is.
Now we've equipped our fancy infrared light on, and we have figured out what was laying in the grass in a little sort of well in the ground. It's really quite sweet. It is the tiniest little Thompson's gazelle I have ever seen, and the rest of the herd is actually just off to the distance. So I suspect what has happened here is that for safekeeping, Mom has said, right, little one, you are going to stay here all by yourself. We're going to graze in the distance, not to draw too much attention to you, because you can imagine a small little creature like that is a target, and it's got a blinking arrow above its head for many different things. Jackals will harass something of that size, you know, even I would reckon a serval, maybe a serval was brave enough. We've seen brave ones taking on hyenas. Caracal most certainly would take a little Thompson's gazelle out, and never mind, even an adult Thompson's gazelle. So very, very cool. Now, there are quite a few different animals out there, or antelope out there, and gazelle that will just leave their little ones behind. I know the bushbuck do it very, very well. They tell their little ones to stay, which is so sweet. Now, I sees Bubbles, you say, look at those ears. Well, that's the voice that Megan repeated the question in, so I wonder if that's how you said it as you typed away. It is tiny. It hasn't quite grown into anything of its body yet. It's so small it looks like a scrub hair. That's what I thought. I thought maybe if you just come across a scrub hair and its ears are just poking out of a little depression in the ground, and it's not. This is so precious. There's also some bug buzzing about it. Looked like a bumblebee. What are you? Leave that little thing alone. Lots of bugs around. This little fella needs the bat-eared foxes to come back and help capture all those bugs. Now, I don't think we're going to stay here for too much longer because it is very small. We haven't got any light on it. We have got the infrared light on, but I don't want to disturb it. I don't want to distress it at all. So I think we'll head on off and find some other animals. Yeah, the adults all sitting in the distance. Very cool. We're so lucky today, hey? My goodness, surely, what else are we going to see? It can't get any better than it's already been, you know, except we could get stampeded by a wildebeest. That's always fun. That's my favorite. Because I just, oh no, they're back, Sebastian, they're back. Ah, the wildebeest, they follow me around everywhere. Look at them. And I've just started driving, but have a look. We put the infrared light on. It's an absolute nightmare. They're just running. Can hear them. Have a little listen too. Go away, wildebeest. Please leave me alone. You've already made me hurt my hand once today. I don't want to have to re-hurt it.
And that's up.
Now they're all canoeing. Just having a little look. There's just a long line of them. Oh, Sebastian was surrounded. Absolutely surrounded. And off they go again. Maybe I should start talking back to them. Don't stampede me. And we'll just be sitting here minding our own business, and they're just going to go round and round and back and forth and run towards me and then run away from me. Oh, they're going past us now. Yeah, they've changed direction again. Proud cat mama, you know, you've said that loads and loads of glowing eyes. There are, and it really stresses me out, this. I try my best to keep away from the wildebeest, but they really do follow me. You should have seen them last night as we were trying to drive very slowly on the road. Literally all I could see was that the soil had been oxidized, so it was sort of red in color, and the grass was obviously green, so I was just following the red stuff. That's all I could see. I couldn't make out rocks. I could barely make out a puddle on the road, and all I could see every now and then were flashes of either stripes and then flashes of wildebeest coming past me and wanting to run into the car. But that's, of course, last night was a huge exception because of the thunder and lightning and the wind, and it was just terrible. So they really were panicked. They'll be a little bit more relaxed tonight. Sharon, thank you for the wise words. You've said that Sebastian and I must be careful. You don't want to get caught in the middle. That's exactly what we don't want, and that's why we'll give them right away and let them run around. But you see, you just get one that gets a fright and then runs off, and that sheep mentality kicks in, and then they all start running in the same direction. And don't you come near me. No, Sebastian, look at them. It's like they're doing it on purpose. Please don't hit my car. Please don't hit my car. Oh no, now they're running to the left of me and to the right of me. This is so wonderful. Oh, look at our plants. Seb, should we show them our camouflage quickly? I thought this would maybe help and protect us from the wildebeest, but it's obviously not. I picked that up. I don't know where I picked that up, but we've got it now. Now, James, Richard, you've said that apparently I'm not the herdie of the zebra. I'm the herder? What am I? That's not English. Of the zebra, of the wildebeest. Yes, I feel I am. And now they're all shouting at me. Probably saying, Tayla, get lost, go home. Right, shall we make a run for it, Sebastian? I'm making a run. I've got a gap. I'm taking the gap. Are you ready, Seb? We're off. I'm going quickly. Go, car. Go, Mila. Go. Keep away, wildebeest. I'm racing. I don't even know where the road is anymore, but I'm going this way. Oh no, now the wildebeest are going, no, we're going to be scared. Okay, I'm going to try and not get stampeded by wildebeest and try and find my way out of the ring of them that surround me now. Let me have a gap. Let's go across to Byron, who's also got his spotlight out.
I do indeed, Taylor. Now I'm busy having a look around in this area for any signs of that young male leopard who was around here today, but I think he moved off down into the drainage line in that direction, so I'm not sure. Really don't know where he has gone. I don't know which direction to go, really. Let's have a look. I think we'll keep going along this way and just try checking this drainage line. Maybe he's in there somewhere. Hold on. What is that back there? It looks like something small. Possibly just an antelope hiding through there. Straight through the back there. Can you see it there, Vim? I can just see there's like little shining eyes. I think it's a Dacre through there. Very small eyes, very close together. I think it's a little Dacre. Can hardly make it out, to be honest. Just through there. I think, yeah, there, the tail. It's a Dacre. It's a little Dacre. I just saw the tail move there now. Hiding in the thicket, quite far through there. As I said, eyes, smallish eyes, closer together. You can tell it's possibly a small antelope. Alright, now I wonder if any chameleons are out yet. I don't think so. Two little scrub hares. Palin, you say extra points if I find bush babies tonight. It's not always easy. We'll try. I haven't seen bush babies for quite a while. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe we see some. Always nice seeing these little scrub hares. Would be great to see a bush baby. Now, I don't think there are many chameleons active just yet. Now, let's go back to the Mara to Scott, who's been driving around with these spotlights, and he's managed to find a critter of the night. Let's see what it is.
Well, we found one of the other small critters of the night, the white-tailed mongoose. And it's looking for some insects to feed on, or small rodents, snakes. Like most predators, they are quite versatile in what they feed on. Sadly, it is quite far away, so disappearing out of view. We did also have a brief glimpse of some bat-eared foxes that were also just lingering on the periphery of the IR range. It looks like they may have disappeared. Yeah, sadly, I think they have skedaddled off. Let's have one scan back a little bit more zoomed in. Oh, there's a little rodent. Oh, two. A happy couple. Hello, you guys. How cute is that? We've actually seen these little rodents out quite a lot at night when following the various big cats. And I wonder where they're off to. The one on the front's definitely far bigger than the one at the back. So I wonder if that's a youngster getting taught the ropes. Quite possibly. Wonderful. Sadly, they're disappearing behind our view now, so that's the last we'll see of them. A few more little nocturnal critters. Let's have one more look and keep panning and see if we can't find those bat-eared foxes. Ah! Well done. Oh, it's going to be very difficult to make them out. But you can see a little eye glowing and short legs. Dark tail. You may have heard a bug just land on the car next to me. There's one crawling down my shirt. Lots of bugs this evening. Good. Well, three interesting little nocturnal critters. Oh, there's another rodent. We've got quite a few cool two-shots of these guys bounding past the cheetah or the cheetah walking past them. Oh, it looked like it disappeared down its hole there, temporarily. Very good. Well, let's keep moving and see what else we can find. Yes, Sammy Jane, they've definitely started hustling for the night. I couldn't agree more. Come on, what else is out? A Zorilla would be good to see. Or an African polecat. It's kind of like a skunk. I've only seen one since I've been here, as far as I can remember. I think Brent's seen a couple. Brent, I think, was actually lucky enough to find a den site of some Zorillas a while back. It really is exciting being out after dark. You can't see nearly as far as we can during the day, of course. So just about around any corner you can be pleasantly surprised. And another place where it's even harder to find animals, even during the day or after dark, is Djuma, because it's far more thick. So why don't you go give Byron a hand searching for anything interesting?
Oh, Scott, it can sometimes be quite tricky trying to find animals at night around here. But you never know. I haven't seen a... Sorry, I thought I saw something. No. I thought I saw something move in that hole there. Don't think so. We haven't seen a genet for a while. Not sure where our little genets are. But it can be tricky to find nocturnal animals, but also at the moment the light is starting to change, so it's getting darker a bit later, obviously, as we move into our summer. So some of those nocturnal animals only start coming out a little bit later. We're not hearing or seeing as many owls as we did a few weeks ago, or a month or so ago. We were seeing plenty of owls. Almost every drive we would see an owl. A little pearl-spotted owl, or a scops owl, or a barred owl. You hear them, but you don't see them as often. Now, an owl that I heard the other night, probably the last, what was it? I think I heard it 3 or 4 nights in a row. Was a barn owl. Now, it's got an eerie sound, but unfortunately, I haven't seen it. I haven't, well, not here anyway. But it was calling the other night. Let me see if I can play you that call quickly. While I stop, I will also listen out for any birds, nocturnal birds. Let me just play the barn owl for you. A very eerie sound. Listen to this. Okay, wait. Hold on. Let me turn the volume back up. There we go, listen. Hey, that's quite interesting. Very scary sound. And Megan was just saying it's creepy. It's a beautiful owl, the barn owl, and you can see it over there. But it is not easy to find. But I heard one calling the other night close to camp. I can hear some scops owls calling, one of my favorite birds, or nocturnal sounds especially. Let's see, maybe we can find one quickly. Let's see. We've still got some time. It's been a nice afternoon, very relaxing afternoon. Oh, Christy, I'm not sure if any of the other presenters have seen a barn owl out here. I've seen them in the Sabi Sands before, definitely, but I haven't seen one on Safari Live. So, probably not that often. Oh, there's a Scops owl calling off to my right in there. You can just hear that. Grr, grr. Something like that. I'm busy calling. Well, the other night we managed to find a scorpion. First little scorpion for the summer season. Let's see, maybe we can find it. Oh, I think it's a Warburg's eagle. Yeah. So there's a Warburg's eagle up in the tree. I well spotted him, but don't want to shine the spotlight on it. Hiding up in the tree there. Would be great to spot a little chameleon. First one of this season too. But I wonder if they're active yet. Maybe need a bit more rain, a bit more warmth. And then we might start seeing more chameleons popping out. Remember last year, it was quite a while before we started seeing a lot of chameleons. Ah, there's a wonderful smell of potato bush in the air at the moment. Just as we drove through that little pocket of air, could smell it very, very clearly. And it does, it smells like a baked potato. Nice fresh baked potato. Now I'm getting hungry. Now somebody else who enjoys a baked potato is Scott. Let's see how his evening's going in the Mara with his spotlight. He's already had some luck. Let's see if he has some more.
Well, I'm also hungry, Byron. Makes two of us. Ferg? Yeah, Ferg's also hungry, so that makes three of us, but probably not as hungry as Byron. He's got quite an appetite on him. Only kidding. I've got some very, very exciting news, which I really didn't expect to get. And there is a young boy called Cameron. He's just 8 years old, and he's been following the show for quite some time, and I'm very, very happy to hear you watching, Cameron. And I'm also very, very happy to hear that Dyson, the iguana, is still in good hands and that you're doing a very good job looking after him. That makes me very happy, and I hope you are well. And you must let us know more when you are watching the safaris, because I'd love to hear more from you when you're around, and maybe we'll be able to even go and find you some special animals just for you. So let us know next time you're watching, and I'll make sure to do as best I can to find whatever it is you would like to see. Very good, and I'm happy that Dyson is being well looked after. He must be getting quite old now, old Dyson the iguana. For those of you who don't know, my surname is Dyson. The iguana was named after me, so I feel very special because of that. And very, very happy to hear you watching, Cameron. Okay. Just a few more minutes left of drive. What is going to happen? Well, I think it does make sense that you do go and spend the last few moments with Byron, of course, unless we find something, because it is still a little bit light there, and maybe he'll get lucky finding something before the end of the show. If not, it's been great.
Oh, Scott, I don't think we're going to have any luck finding something nocturnal now with the last few minutes, but found some wildebeest, probably that same herd we saw earlier. As I said, all these animals now starting to congregate on the clearings again above camp. Not far from camp is green grass. It's a nice time for them to be out here. So food for them to feed on, and of course safety. So I'm pretty soon going to have Hopefully the zebra herds and impala herds all returning, and then of course lambing season is very, very soon, around the corner in fact. So that could be quite interesting for us. Some impala lambs. Yeah. Now, a lot of you saying that the highlight was that red-chested cuckoo this afternoon for us down here, and definitely that was a highlight for me, because you don't get to see those cuckoos often, and especially the red-chested. Oh, there's a scop owl calling just in the distance, not too far from us. Thank you to the team in the Mara, of course, Brent, Jamie, Tayla and Scott, and it was nice to have them out with us eventually. It was great, and I got to see some nice stuff up there. And then thanks Megan in Final Control. Thank you everybody for all the questions. Hope you enjoyed this afternoon sunset safari with us. It's been a lot of fun. We'll see you tomorrow morning for our sunrise drive. Good night and goodbye everyone.